Hello everyone, this is Kanav Bhatia, and as always, I'm a fifth semester computer programming student. So today I'm going over my fourth assignment for the Applied Data Science course. This assignment was pretty much like the previous assignment we discussed. It has 30 small questions to deal with, and we started off by downloading the test.csv file which was provided to us by our professor. Okay, and we were supposed to store it in a data frame named mydf. As you can see here in the very first step, I did that. I stored the csv file test.csv with the mydf uh, data frame name. In the second question, we were supposed to show the first three rows, and as you can clearly see, using the mydf.head 3 command, I showed the first three rows, which is 0, 1, and 2. And moving towards the next question, we were given that we are supposed to delete the model column uh, from the data frame, but temporarily, right? So if you look here, there's this model column, right, which is EX85CT41. In the third one, we were supposed to delete this, but only for temporary. So since it was only three rows shown here, actually it is 950 rows and seven columns. It was 8 columns, but after deleting the model one, it becomes 7 columns. So how we deleted the model? We used the command mydf.drop, which one? The model and axis one, right? Then moving towards the next question, it was given that delete the model column permanently using the assignment, not an in-place parameter. Is there any output when you run the permanent deletion? So how can you make sure it is deleted? Okay. In the next question, you can clearly see that we were supposed to permanently delete it. So right here we use mydf.drop model axis equal to 1. Here we use mydf.drop model axis equal to 1. And then we display it on, right? Now it is permanently deleted. And how can we be sure that it is permanently deleted? If we go again the mydf uh, command and we use mydf.head used here, you can clearly see that it does not show us that value, that one column again, which means it is permanently deleted. In the fifth question, we delete rows 1, 3, and 5 permanently using in place. Okay, and then we show the first four rows. So how we drop and delete 135, we use the same command mydf.drop 135. The axis here is going to be 0, and we are using in place because it is given in the question. And once deleted, we display the first four rows, which is given by mydf.head, and it is used like the 4 is the number used for the rows, and we are displayed the first four rows, which is 0. We deleted the 1, so 2. We deleted the 3, so 4. We deleted the 5, so 6. And then we had to calculate the range of the column. So this is how we calculate the range. It is mydf.range.mean. So it is the mean of the range. Then moving towards seventh question. Seventh question was how many F do we have in the type column? Replace the permanently with A, and show first five rows. Now, anywhere it said F, we are supposed to replace it with triple A and make sure its in place is true as given in the question. So we use the command mydf.type.replace, and we are replacing F with. We run the command again to display the answers, and here you can see here are the answers. Quickly moving towards the next question. So in question 7, and you can clearly see from the cost column we are deleting all of this and again running the code to make sure that we have the desired result. And that we change the cost data type to integer and display the result. You can clearly see we just changed the data type to integer and this turns out to be the mean of the cost. So it means Africa continent, then whatever is the components from Africa continent is taken out and this is the mean. So it is given by the continent and the data type is float here. Moving towards 11th question of this assignment, it says to calculate the minimum, maximum and standard deviation of the cost column and group them by each continent. Again, so we go for the minimum cost, we go for the maximum cost, and then we find the standard deviation of the cost, right? So minimum cost is displayed right here. It goes for the maximum and the standard deviation, and then standard deviation is grouped as by the continent name given in the question. You can clearly see this is how it works. This is the minimum range, maximum range, and standard deviation. Moving towards 12th question, we were supposed to calculate minimum, maximum, and standard deviation of all numerical columns and group them by each continent, right? So here, what we did, we grouped them by continent and we found out the minimum, maximum, and standard deviation of every single column. So for ID, for range, for value, and for cost, and all of that is again divided by the name of the continent, which is given here, and here are all the values. You can clearly see that Python is a language made in such a way that all these work is done in minutes, rather seconds. So it's very easy, convenient, and for a person like me who really doesn't like maths, this is the thing. I think we are almost in the middle of get a little tricky here. Let's take the mean of all numerical columns using a bar graph, right? So for a bar graph, we use the code dot plot, and then we say it's a bar graph. We mention the kind, and you can clearly see we already had all the solutions. We already had all the code, and we just made sure that it is presented as a barcode. There you go. Python does it for us. Again, it is divided by the continent names. Each continent at the continent column, and then 16th was to show the unique values we have in the continent column. 15th question gives out the percentage, we are multiplying it with 100, and then 16th question gives us unique values, so unique values are given right here. Okay, moving towards using the hashtag for the comment, right? We were supposed to and we run and how it is given. So the name, so it's like the cost, the length, and the data type, which is integer here. 18th question is my favorite. It's a histogram. So we have a histogram. We have to plot a histogram for the cost column. So it's pretty easy. We say mydf from the mydf thing, we take out the cost and we plot it as a histogram. Simple as that. Going for 19th question, and we were to change the number of so you can clearly see it's the same code. We just add dot pins is equal to 50, which makes sure that the pins in the given histogram are set to 50 and the results verify. This question was pretty good. It was a little tricky. The trick was just this little extension. Anyways, moving towards and the missing. So we use mydf, we go to the zip code, and then from is null is the empty values. We just make a sum. So if there is like one empty value, and then two, and then three, and then four and five. So any number of empty values is denoted by is null and is added up using the sum. For zip code, it's 9 values. For type, it's 2 values. And then there's no other null values for ID, range, value, model, cost, and continent. All the rows with any missing values, this is what will be left. 939 rows and 8 columns. type using column, value count method including the okay. Pretty simple. Again, we use the mydf, then we use type value, the counts, and whatever is dropped, we make it a false. So, moving to question 5, the ID column as read the index name, then show the value of first 5 rows. Okay, so you can clearly see we set index as ID and we replace index with the ID, and we were supposed to show the given number of rows, which is like 10, 20, 30, 40. So every 10 value, every 10th value, and this is how the result comes out. Looking forward to question number 20. The index columns and the shape of the current DF, bring back the ID column to the DF and reset the index. Again, show the index columns. So here we deleted, and here we are supposed to bring back. So we do mydf.index. This is the index right now. Then we go to mydf.columns. This is the columns right now. And we put it back. We make sure that reset index is true. And when you reset it and you check it again using mydf.hit command, you see the ID one is. Coming to question number 27, try method to see how the statistics of mydf fetch the value in the column. So we do mydf.describe. It's going to give us all these values, and then using the describe, we make sure that we have count and value, which so we have first one, the third column, which is given right now. The eighth question, column by so first sorting it by DF, this is what we get, and then by sorting it by alphabetical order, this is question number 29. Columns of So we were supposed to show all the rows for this, like this given question, question 29, and upon running the command mydf.locate 1357, this is all. Last question, and a pretty small and easy question to show the value of the type x. So anywhere the anywhere the value and type. So any value with the type XXX is to be shown. So you can see the value 42 has type XXX and 37 has XXX. So how we show it? We make sure the type is set to triple X and location is to be value is to be in reference with value and type. And that was pretty much it for this assignment. It wasn't really long. It was a good one. A lot of new questions to try, and the last assignment for this course of this semester. Hopefully this video was informative, and um, hopefully like it was good talking about this assignment and you all learned something. Thank you.